Hello and welcome. In this lecture, I'm going to show you how you can build another page. This one is going to be simple. Now let's say that this magician client of ours has shows in Vegas. He also has shows, let's say, in some other two cities, random cities. He's going to ask ChatGPT to generate a layout for this. I'm going to say, our magician hosts shows, or hosts, actually, let's say in the same city, hosts 3 shows in Vegas. 1 show, card tricks. 1 show for illusions. And 1 show for pure mind-blowing magic. So generate a layout design for our shows page, and then let me hit the send button, in which case it's going to go ahead and get started creating that. At the same time, go to canva.com and click on add page, and then you can just remove the background. Now I'm going to go back to ChatGPT quickly. All right, so this is what I expected, and this looks pretty good. So I'm going to copy this for a second, and then I would like to go back to my website, place it in. It's going to be placed right here, and then I'm going to zoom in. Just to get things done quick, I'll set the image as background, and let's get started. So our shows should be here, so I'm going to go to the top. I'm going to actually duplicate the same phrase, drag it here, and it should say our shows. And instead of it being similar to the other, I'm going to click it and then go to effects, click none to remove that effect. Also click on the color and then change it to black. And also potentially, let's go to the effects and make sure it's just a normal effect color. Now, just gonna go put it right here. Maybe make it just a little bit smaller and place it right there. Now, there it is. Now we need 3 images. So we need 3 images of some magic shows. I'm going to say here, I'm going to go to ChatGPT. I'm going to set her to this particular, Leonardo AI software. And I'll just go ahead and get some images. So I have this one. It's pretty good. This one is good. It's going to be good for card magic. So card tricks. Let's go ahead and do the same thing here. So I'm going to drag this like so. As you can see, or instead, I'm going to be creating images for that. So I'm going to say card tricks magic. I'm going to go to the size. I'm going to switch it to the TikTok size, 9:16, because as you can see here on the design, this is more like a phone. So I'll be doing that. That's the first thing. Now, the second design, mind-blowing magic, illusions magic. So I'm going to go ahead and just say as well, or replace card tricks with incredible magic, and illusion magic as well. But illusion magic is going to be different in size. It's not going to be like the others. I'm going to make it about, let's say, all right, let's click here on the size, maybe about 3 by 4 inches. And I'm going to say illusion magic in, let's say, Vegas, and hit the generate button. In which case, it's going to go and get started. So we have a bunch of images, some card trick images. So I think this one here looks pretty good. I'll click on the image so that I can download. I'll get right back into Canva. And I'll basically click right here. Drag my particular image right here on Canva. All right, so I'm going to click on this particular image right here. I'm going to place it exactly like this. And I will be spreading it across like that. And as you can see, that is quite good. Now I can zoom in for an extra detail. Let me just make sure this is good. Now when it comes to the bottom, I can actually drag it to the bottom, and you can see that's quite a beautiful image. Now I'll click on this particular image. I'll click on edit. And I want to go ahead and basically add some adjustments to this image. But since it's still uploading, I think I'm going to go back to Leonardo to get the other images. So we have the other image, which is some mind-blowing magic in Vegas. I think I'm going to go with this one right here. And then I'll go right back into my design. So let's just click, drag, and drop. There you go. Now, this one, I'll place it here. It should be on the same length as the other, and then I'll just make sure I reduce the size of it like this. And I'll basically drag it to the bottom like that. Now we have one more. So I'll scroll to the top here. You have a bunch of images, and so you need to pick one of those. I'll pick this one right here. I'll go back to the website and I will drag this image right over here. And that will be pretty much it. There it is. So I'm going to put the image here, make sure it's aligned, decrease the size like so. And then from the bottom of the image, I would like to make sure that I do like this. There you go. All right. Okay, so right now I need to go and click on the elements, and I want you to look for a shape. So the shape here, actually they're in front of me, so I'm just going to select one of them. This is the shape I'm actually looking for. And what I want to do, well, is to take the shape, place it like so. Now I can reduce the corner rounding. I can spread it gently across. Also from the other side, as you can see. And I can click on the position to back, and then now as you can see it's to back. Now I need to click on the transparent, not the transparency option, but on the color, the color. I'll switch it to white color. And you can see that now it's starting to make a little bit more sense. Now if you want, you might also consider clicking on the color and then turning it gradient, which is not bad, as you can see there. I think I can make the gradient just a little bit better by clicking, and then here, this one, I'll make it closer to the white color. Looks better now, right? Now we need to add some placeholder text. So I'm going to go and just look for, if I look for some placeholder text, there's graphics. And these graphics, they contain spaces where I can put some text on top of. Let me go to photos, try to find something fancy. All right, so here I'm looking for some text frames. There's plenty of text frames that you can pick from. For example, this one here happened to catch my attention, and I can keep scrolling, just shopping for some text frames that would do well for this particular application. I'm going to keep scrolling. I think this one is the best, but let me just keep looking. And all right, I think I found the one that I like. So I'm definitely going to be using this one instead. And I will be making this smaller and putting one on each. So one should be put over here. And then should be a little bit down or close to the bottom. I'll duplicate the same one and I'll place another one down here. This one should be a little bit bigger and placed like that. And then the same one from the other side should be right about there. And if you're guessing what this is for, it's just to write the text on top of them. So one has to have card tricks on top of it. So let me duplicate, let's say card tricks. I'm going to double click, and instead of the color, I'm going to switch it to white. And of course, I'll have to reduce the size and make sure it's in 2 lines. Line spacing reduced. And I can just simply drag it like so and keep decreasing the size slightly and place it like that. A little bit more. There you go. Now we have card tricks. Now let me duplicate. Here we have, I think it's illusions. Illusions. And I'll place illusions right about there. And then I'll duplicate it. And then this one should be pure magic. I'll place pure magic right over there. I think that this is looking quite promising. Now, the book now buttons are also quite necessary, so I'll go ahead over here. I'll actually duplicate this particular text here. And I'll just place book now. Book now. And I'll just double click on the text. Make sure the color of the text is white. And I'll make sure that this is smaller, should be placed down here, and the button should be exactly there. But there should be some coating for it, so I'm going to click on the shape. The shape should make it different in color, so I'll make it black. And when it comes to the color of the button, I'll also make it black. Or actually, let's just keep it white. And here, let me drag this particular button on top of the Book Now button. And make sure that this fits. Oh, this needs to be a little bit smaller. There it is. And the button should also be a bit smaller than that. A bit like this. A little bit from the side. And a little bit from here. Now, in order to make sure that the button looks separate, I need to click on the border weight and add some border weight of at least 5, and then click on the color of the border, change it to about white. Now let me decrease the size of the border weight, maybe at around about 3. And then I'll move Book Now just a tiny bit. There you have it. And now I can select the button. Now you see when I selected it, I moved everything. So you can click on the shape, lock the position of it. And now you can select the button, but you still select the other one. So click on the image as well and lock it. And then you can now select only the button, and you can move it however you want. And the good news is that I can also duplicate this particular button, place another one here. Maybe you can place it here, however you want. Personally, I'll keep them all aligned, and I'll duplicate the other one over there. Make sure they're all perfectly aligned. And if we have a look at this, this is not looking bad at all. So this is the first page. I want to see the last page, which is the our shows page, and you can see it's looking quite good. For this one, we can keep it like this. We don't need to add anything else. Now, as far as the buttons and as far as the elements, you can link easily by just clicking on any element, clicking here, and you can add a link to anything. So you can add a link to a checkout page. You can add a link to a funnel. You can add a link to a YouTube channel. You can add a link to anything you want to add a link to. That way you can basically get in touch with your audience. Now, we have basically built 3 pages right now. There's 2 more, one for coaching and one for reviews. We're going to start with the reviews one, first of all, and then we're going to move to the coaching. And that's pretty much it for this lecture. I'll see you in the next video.